welcome in for the news at 5:30. I'm Josh Smith.
And I'm Sarah Diamond. Governor Bill Lee says he does not know anything about reports that there was an offer for a particular vote on his ESA or voucher bill.
Yeah, the controversial measure passed in the Tennessee House back in April, kind of stalled in the Senate. There have been reports of things offered in exchange for votes. It ended up passing in the House, but it's there that the controversy begins. Our State Capitol Newsroom reporter Chris Bungard was there as the governor faced a flurry of questions about it.
Bill Lee is back in Tennessee after being away from the Capitol with governors' conferences and a very public West Coast trip to recruit jobs. Governor Bill Lee walked into a flurry of questions, not about his jobs trip, but instead the April day when his signature education savings account or ESA voucher bill first ended in a tie vote. Getting the necessary votes took some doing from both Speaker Glenn Cassada and the governor. Knoxville lawmaker Jason Zachary got what he wanted.
I had the conversation with the speaker, with the governor, and so we reached a point where we were able to come to an agreement that Knox County will be taken out.
But questions have been raised about whether more was offered to Representative John Mark Wendell for his voucher support, like a promotion to general for his Tennessee Guard service. House Speaker Glenn Cassada denies he or those close to him made the offer. The governor Thursday was asked if he knew anything about the offer to Representative Wendell.
I don't know anything about that.
The governor was in communication with lawmakers as the ESA voucher bill hung in the balance, including Representative Wendell. What did he say to him?
Encouragement for him to consider passing that legislation. I've encouraged a lot of legislators that day and the days before.
The governor went on to say there were no incentives such as road projects offered by him to lawmakers, and that he has not spoken to the FBI, who has reportedly been interested in what happened that day in April. Reporting from the state capitol, Chris Bungard.
Well, that ESA voucher bill eventually passed that day in the House by a few votes, and then it went on to pass by a much larger margin in the Senate.
When the program is implemented, kids in underperforming schools in Memphis and Nashville will be given $7,300 yearly to attend the school of their choice.